In 2007, a man who was a former CIA agent, he went to ABC News in 2007, and he reported that the CIA was torturing people, despite what George W. Bush had said. In response, the FBI, on direction of the CIA, started to investigate him. When the Obama administration came into office, they hired John O'Brennan, who was in charge of the CIA torture program, and they made him part of the national security, if I recall. They started an investigation to get this man who reported CIA torture, massive CIA torture, where they would actually, for example, take out a man's eyeball. One of the people that is now in Guantanamo Bay, they had black sites where they killed people, CIA agents. This man, his name is John Karyoku. It's a Greek name, and he's part of the most wonderful group that I've ever found in my entire life, called the Veterans Intelligence Professionals for Sanity. And he is a hero of mine. He's seeking a pardon for going to jail for 23 months because the FBI, they finished their investigation. They put espionage charges against him, and he spent 23 months in jail. Now, John Karyoku has changed my life. His reports made me realize that I'm an asset of intelligence. And he explained that he was a CIA case officer in the field. And then what he would do is he would become best friends with people that he wanted to spy for their government, and he wanted information from. And then what would happen is that these spies, these assets is what they're called, they would just become best friends, and they would do anything for him. He would charter a boat. He would put their child in college, and he just would do anything to help them. And he said in 99% of the cases, 98% of the cases, the people do things for money. And the acronym that the CIA uses is RICE, or MICE. Usually most people don't do things for ideology. So I happen to be somebody that does things for ideology. It's money, respect, I think, extortion, and ideology. Those are the three things of MICE. So that's in the past. I used to call myself a useful idiot, a term that is coined to Lenin. But now I've been told many times here in Moscow, Russia, that I am no longer a useful idiot. So why am I telling you this? What am I trying to say? Why am I talking about this man who revealed the terrible things that CIA did? The reason I'm telling you this is because John Karyoku also hates the CIA. He thinks the CIA should be abolished. And I firmly agree with him. I think it's the most evil organization that has penetrated all countries, and it's also penetrated the United States. The CIA is not supposed to do things in the United States, but they spy on senators. They spied on the late California Senator Feinstein, and with the National Security Agency, they watch everything that we do as Americans, that you do as Americans. I'm firmly here in Russia. So what he said is that he collects intelligence on these people and then he becomes their best friend. What I want to say is that if the CIA controls the United States, then what happens with macro level? I mean, as a sociologist, I'm focused on the macro level. What the CIA is trying to do with the FBI and the National Security Agency is what they're trying to do is they're trying to control all of us. Every single American, they're trying to control. And they do that through social apps that are monitored and controlled by the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and by the National Security Agency. And this video is being stored in Lehi, Utah. Now, what does that mean for you, the average American? That means that you are compartmentalized. That means you're an asset to the CIA. That means they want to keep you frustrated. They want to keep you working. They want to keep you isolated, just like John Karaoke did for the CIA. And I want to ask John Karaoke personally, is that the case? Is the CIA on a macro level isolating people? Is that the reason why we can't end the endless wars? Is that the reason why the CIA is involved in every single country and kills millions and millions of people since its foundation of 1947? Folks, this involves you, fellow Americans. This involves you. What I'm trying to tell you is the reason you're frustrated, the reason why you have no say in the economy, the reason why your vote doesn't matter, the reason why there's a two-party system that has been completely corrupted, that is owned by the billionaires, is because of CIA. It's because of the foundation of this evil organization. And they're trying to keep you isolated. They're trying to keep you afraid. They're trying to keep you as an asset. All 340 million of you are assets to the CIA. Because the CIA and intelligence agencies run the world. Everybody can talk about conspiracy theories about how, this person or that person runs the world. There's secret cabals. This is real. The CIA runs the world since the dropping of the atomic bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. People in the United States government realized that they can be destroyed, and they realize that they have to do the most vicious and nasty things to keep in control. And the CIA was founded on these principles of manipulating. And they just don't manipulate one person. They don't manipulate two people. They manipulate 340 million people. And they also manipulate the people of Canada, the Five Eyes, the people of Canada, the people of Britain, the people of Australia, and the people of New Zealand. Those are the Five Eyes. Canada, the UK, the United States. And as John tells on many broadcasts, in many podcasts, he says that these intelligent officers will sit side by side in the NSA in Lehi, Utah. They will sit in this deep bunker with 500 years of your information, Americans. They are spying on you right now. And they sit side by side, the Five Eyes. They sit side by side and they track us. And so my question, that's my first question to John. Is this being done on a macro level? Is this being done to all 340 million Americans and all of the other 4 countries that are Five Eyes? And my second question to John is that there are 3 intelligence organizations here in Russia that I'm familiar with. There is the SVR, which is located at Yasinovo. The reason I know that is somebody that was probably former KGB told me where it was at. And then I found the New York Times article that basically said it used to be KGB at Yasinovo. It's on the orange line. I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. A Russian would say this. That's the SVR. That's basically Russia's CIA. The GRU, which I believe is probably on the red line, it doesn't matter. The GRU is Russian intelligence, and the FSB is their border guards. I was told this by another probable FSB agent, he told me this in or former KGB. He told me this in 2015. That the FSB is the border guards. It's just like it was in the Soviet Union. So anyway, I know your eyes are glazing over if you're an American and you're watching this. You don't really know anything about Russia, probably. But why am I bringing this up? Because in 1947, excuse me if I get the year wrong, when the CIA was formed, they saw that that human intelligence was much better than in the Russia. So my question to John Karioko is does the FBI do the same thing? Do they treat people like assets? Because I'm an asset, and we all are assets. We may not realize it, but we are all assets. As Andrew Bustamante says, he's another former CIA person, very popular. He says that that 98% of the world is don't know what's going on. They basically have no power, and they're cogs. You're a cog. If you work every day, you are a cog. You're a consumer. Your job is to, number 1, work. That's the most important thing, is to work. Number 2 is to buy, to be a consumer. Your second job is to be a consumer. Number 3 is to breed, is to make more consumers. So he says, and I agree with him, he says that we need consumers. We need people that just breed. We need people that just consume. And we need people that work at dead-end jobs, unfulfilling jobs. If you're one of those people and you're happy, great. That's not my life. Well, unfortunately it is. I'm not a breeder. I like women. I don't have children, but I'm a consumer and I work here in Russia. But I also am part of the 2%, and that's by really hard work. And the thing is that you can be part of that too. You can be part of the 2%, or you can be part of the other 8%. There's 10% of the people that change the world. There's the elite top 2%. That's mostly, the most important is the intelligence agencies at the very top. And then there's the oligarchies. And America is an oligarchy. There was an April 17th, 2014, I believe, BBC article that said scientifically America is an oligarchy. That basically means that if you're not in the top, nothing that you do as an American matters. That means that America is a monopoly. So my point is that if we don't wake up as a society, there's what's a book called The Singularity is Near. It's not science fiction, it's science fact. Is that we are going towards, everybody uses AI, everybody knows about artificial intelligence. And that artificial intelligence, we're hurtling towards 2045, where the author Ray Kurzweil says that we will become virtually almost near gods. We will live, almost all of us will live forever. But the thing is, and everybody knows this, is anybody that has any intelligence and any political understanding knows that we are close to nuclear war. We're close. Things are falling apart, especially for America, fellow Americans. And the thing is that there are two paths. I really do believe that if the United States does not fall into civil war, we're going to have a nuclear holocaust within the next 2 to 3 years. That's the reason why Andrew Bustamante is leaving the country, is that he sees the decay of America, and it's so obvious. And so what I'm saying is that we have two choices. And the thing is that Americans especially have to wake up. They have to wake up to the control that they're under. They have to wake up to how evil the people are. Absolutely disgustingly evil the people are. John Karaoke admits readily that CIA promotes sociopaths, 90% sociopaths. And these are people that have like almost no conscience. They can feel guilty about things, but that's what CIA recruits. And he readily says that he's a sociopath. 90%. He still has a conscience, and thank God he does, because he revealed the torture. These are the parasites that run the United States. Now, every country has parasites at the top. The thing is that what I love about Americans is that they understand that their voice means something. Your voice means something. And what I'm trying to tell you is that if you don't stand up and take back your country, if you don't stop the endless wars, if you don't grow up as a country, because you're only 249 years old as of December 12th, 2025, when this video is being done, if you don't wake up, you will either die in a civil war, in civil insurrection, or you will die in a nuclear holocaust. That is our future as humanity. And more people that wake up to the reality of the potential and promise of the singularity is near, which even if you're religious, you can believe in the singularity, the human singularity, when we come together as our machines meld with us. If we don't reach that, we are going to destroy each other as a species. Not completely, but the estimates are that 5 to 6 billion of us will die, mostly in the northern hemisphere. Go to the atomic, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. It's a group of scientists that were formed in right after the atomic bomb was blasted, and they say they're very they're very pro-American, but they say that 5 million people will die, and people say, specialists say, that number is actually 6 billion, because the figure of 5 billion, do you understand, people? 5 billion people will die. And it's actually 6 billion now, because there's 8 billion people in this world. And COVID-19, which I personally I suspect was done by China, that's a whole other story. It was released by China. And it's okay to say that now. You couldn't say that during COVID. But the United States, I don't want to get into the whole COVID thing, but I don't want to get this video banned. The United States said that, I think it may have been, it was a CIA person in the Trump administration, blamed China, and China blamed America. So I'm just saying that can happen again, okay? That could happen by state actors, that could happen by Russia, that could happen by China, that could happen by America, and it could also happen by terrorists, biological attacks, chemical attacks, or one nuclear bomb. One nuclear bomb that blows up in this beautiful city of Moscow would destroy 80% of the economy. 80% of the economy goes through Moscow. And one atomic bomb would destroy that. And that's between 13 million people and many, many more. There's actually many more here illegally that are not registered or here illegally. And okay, it's only 13 million people. How would Russia respond? Now, they have been very close, and thank God we have been very close to nuclear Armageddon before. But one terrorist atomic bomb, and it's all gone. And that's what the specialists like I think it's Annie Jacobson, she's an expert on nuclear bombs. One terrorist bomb, and that's it. And the science is such that it's coming to the point where one very intelligent, disturbed human being could create a nuclear bomb. Okay? Or COVID, or a chemical bomb that would kill, or something terrible that would kill millions. And that is the reality. Our technology is becoming such, with virtual reality on the forefront, it's coming soon, and AI, we are becoming gods, literal gods. And if we don't, I want to reach 2045. I'm selfish. Every person is selfish. Every human being, all 8 billion of us are selfish. We're just dogs with that standing on 2 legs. Okay? Whether you believe in evolution or not is irrelevant. But we are the smartest people in this world. But we are selfish. We're selfish at our cores. And I want to live to 72 and 73 as a human being. I want to see the singularity. And so that's the reason why I'm here in Russia, is because I saw that I had no voice. And I saw the path that America is taking. And I'm scared. Because specialists on YouTube, incredibly intelligent people that are much more intelligent than me, they realize that America can't accept being second place in this world. America wants to be number one and always wants to be number one. And they want to continue to be involved in other countries. But other countries are fighting back. Other countries are saying enough. enough economic control from America, enough wars. If we don't stop as fellow Americans, everything we love will be gone, will be destroyed. My name is Travis Lee Bailey, MoscowAmerican.com, Why Don't Russians Smile.com. It can be found on archive.org, my websites. God bless the United States. End the endless wars. Focus on the United States. Be ready for what comes next, because America is infiltrated by spies. Don't be scared. Focus. Don't be afraid. Focus on your family. Focus on your job and try to become one of the 2%. Watch YouTube videos that are troubling to you about intelligence agencies. Watch Andrew Bustamante. I disagree with that man so deeply. But he's so smart. Watch him. Watch Andrew Bustamante and how he wants to leave the United States. Watch John Karaoke. Watch the other intelligence agency videos. You can go onto YouTube right now and just type in CIA video and watch those podcasts. Because the more people that are aware, the better chance that we can reach 2045 as a species. And I want to see the singularity. I want to see our technology take us to the stars. I want to see all of the science fiction that I read passionately as a child before the internet really took off. Thank you very much for your time. Peace. And God bless the Veterans Intelligence for Humanity, the Veteran Intelligence Professionals for Sanity. God bless them. God bless Ray McGovern. God bless Scott Ritter. God bless John Karaoke. And God bless Colleen Rowley. These people are the best chance that we have for peace, because they're Americans. They're frustrated. They know the way the intelligence agencies work and manipulate people and hurt people overseas, and they want it to stop. One last thing I want to say is there's this beautiful movement that happened in 1787. 12 men that were part of the Parliament and very well connected in London, they went into the back of a printing press in England. And there's a reason you don't hear about them, because they're revolutionaries. And there's a reason they don't teach you this in school, in elementary school, and even in college, is because they want you to be a cog. The people in power, those evil parasites, want you to be a cog. They want you to consume. They want you to breed. And what happened was in 1787 is the Society for Abolishing Slavery. I don't remember it. Most were Quakers. 9 of them were Quakers, which is a religion that supports peace. It's the only religion that I've ever seen in my entire life that was against the Indians being massacred. And the Monroe Doctrine and the expansion of America and the deaths of millions of Indians. They're the only organization. These 9 Quakers, there were 12 men, they decided to end slavery. And within their lifetimes, people, they ended slavery. The reason why blacks are free and the reason why slavery is still on the margins and illegal in almost every country in this world is because of 12 men. And that's history. And every single social movement, Mahatma Gandhi in India, the Polish guy, I always forget his name, who led a revolution in Poland. Martin Luther King, who had Quakers in his group. This beautiful woman, this beautiful black woman, Renee Upton, told me about Quakers in the group with Martin Luther King. Every social movement is based on these 12 men. Now, if 12 men can end slavery, because slavery, and I'm going to get this, forgive me if I get the dates wrong, slavery ended at the end of, in 1863, with the end of the Civil War. It ended in Russia in, I believe, 1865. Serfdom ended. The slavery of people ended. And it was because of 12 men that we virtually have no slavery. If they can do it, the veterans for intelligence, professionals for sanity can do the same. They can end these endless wars. We'll always have wars. We'll always fight as a people. But it's getting to the point where we will destroy 5 to 6 billion of us as a species if the wars don't stop. And these brave men and women are the key to our salvation as a species. I don't want to go back to the Stone Age. I don't want to go back to half of the world being in complete and total devastation with hundreds of years of radiation. I'm sorry. There's no apologizing. Nobody wants that. Veterans Intelligence Professionals for Sanity. Look it up on Wikipedia. Peace.